Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to tackle the first two mods to the C7.
So one interesting thing about this car is the bottom. It's very flat paneled, and along with that comes the jacking points. Now you have your different cradles. There's two different cradles here in the back, and according to stuff I found online, the second cradle down there is somewhere you can lift the car back in from, and there's a cradle in front that you can lift the front from. But my plan was, hey, why don't we just go ahead and raise it from your regular jacking points and then put a ramp under or do something like that. But come to find out, these cars don't have normal jacking points. You have to buy these, not necessarily these in particular, but these are like jacking pucks, and these have little slots in here, and I think there's OEM ones or GM ones where you can put in there and flip, and it'll kind of hold in place, and you put your jack here and you lift it. So there's a lot of that's pretty interesting. It's a little odd because I've never seen that before. However, this car did come with jacking pads on all four corners, so with these little side skirt things installed, it's going to be difficult. I don't know if this is enough room to really jack the car up with, but we'll certainly try. Anyway, I'll get the car up in the air and then I'll keep it real brief about what we need to accomplish. Hey everyone, so I've got the car up, the wheel off, just to give you guys an idea. There's plenty of really good videos out there on YouTube already of how to lower your vehicle on stock lowering bolts, but this would just be a little reiteration. So when you have the car up and you're looking at it, what you're going to do is you're going to look at your shock, and right behind it, in the axle right behind it, there is a bolt. And see, here's like the bolt, and on the bottom there is a rubber bushing type of deal. So this is the one you want to adjust, and from what I've read online, it's a 10 millimeter. What you want to do, since this is kind of a leaf spring design, follow it, right? Follow that there. You want to relieve tension on this. So I've got my jack here to raise up on this arm or this leaf to release tension, and then I'll be able to back this out. And what we're trying to accomplish here is, you see this rubber bushing or whatever it is, we're gonna back this bolt out so this rubber bushing sits up higher, so when everything sits back down, you'll create a lowered amount, or you're reducing your height by this space or whatever it is. So yeah, I'm keeping it real brief. This is what I'm going to do to the rear. The fronts I think are already maxed out or lowered to the max, but we'll see how this goes. So this is kind of my first mod, which is interesting, to the car, and it's relatively inexpensive, so that's pretty cool. All right, stay tuned. Okay guys, so we're on the other side. I just want to give you another video of my setup. So again, I have the car jacked up, wheel chocks. Again, this here is the leaf spring, and I've got my jack relieving some tension from this leaf spring here, or this leaf, and then this is the bolt I'm trying to back out. So as I turn, this rubber bushing is going to go up, and so I'll try and capture some of that on tape. And so I'm going counterclockwise, which raises the bolt up and takes the bushing with it. So I'm sorry if that's not very good footage, doing it one-handed, but again, this rubber thing needs to come up to create a gap, so when the car is lowered back down, it'll be slightly lower, and the bolt that we're effectively trying to gain access to is behind the struts right there. Okay guys, I'm back. So I lowered the rears, and I've got to drive around on it to let everything settle, but it does look a bit lower. I think before it was like a 4-finger gap. Now it's kind of like a 3.5, and I think it'll settle a bit. The front suspension looks a little higher, and I think that's just because of me lifting the car and lowering it, but I will report back here as the final part of the video. Now, while I was already on this side of the car, I think it'd be interesting to mention about the gas cap. So the cars that I've typically owned always have like a button for the door cap release, right? So in the Corvette it doesn't. There's actually a mechanism here. There's a little arm that pops in and pops out. It's right here. I don't know if you guys can make it out, but that arm goes into this hole, right? So when you have your car locked, that arm comes out, locks the door, and it's locked, right? And it works off a little hinge mechanism type of deal. And so what I've read is sometimes some Corvette owners, and it's not super common, but a lot of people mention it from time to time, and it's a real easy fix. They say go ahead and just block this hole, so even though it's going to suck that your gas cap may or can be opened at any time, at least you know that the one time you go to the gas station and you're really low on gas, you're not going to be assed out, because the actuator that powers that arm sometimes fails, so you'll be stuck there without being able to open your gas lid, or fuel door. So what people recommend is just to buy a little plastic grommet or screw and just put it in there. I'm a hoarder. Whenever I come across stuff, I always hold on to it, and so in my little pile of plastic clips, I actually found one, and it fits relatively well. So it just pops in. I just gotta seat it, and it's very minimal, right? The head's very thin, and I don't think that should mess with anything. So it's my personal preference of doing this just to prevent any potential future issues. However, other owners are like, well, just make sure your actuator is always in good working condition, and that's a fair statement too, so to each their own. I figure for what people say costs you $1 or either 38 cents in plastic clips to save you a headache later, I'm kind of with them on that. So my first 2 mods to this car are actually lowering the rear and checking out or plugging up the door lock, the fuel lid lock. I will report back for the end of the video. I'm kind of psyched. This isn't going to be like a build channel about the Corvette or anything like that, but it's a phenomenal car for it being something that I've never ever considered owning. So I'll check back here maybe in a day or two whenever the car finishes settling in the rear. Thanks. Hey everyone, so it's been about a day. Everything's kind of settled. Everything is really freaking low. Worked out really well. This is about maybe a 2-finger gap, not very far off from the bottom little tire diffuser thing. So I can honestly say, going all the way down on the front lowering bolts, or whatever you want to call them, I've lost about a finger gap both in the rear and the front. So this used to be about a 4, now I'm kind of about maybe a 2.5, a 3. And it looks evened all the way around. Not to say that I had a problem to begin with, but it gives the car kind of a nice stance the way it should have been from factory. So this is it. I've actually got some more videos coming soon, because I just took my car to the Corvette repair shop just to get it looked over, and they did find a leaky hydraulic tensioner, which is semi-common for this car or the earlier years. So I'll have that done and I'll make a video on it, and there's tons of good videos already, so I'll just basically be a redundant thing on there. But this is it. This is the new Vette for now. We'll see if I hold on to it, just because I'm seeing a lot of little things, and I'll probably make a video over some of the craftsmanship issues that I have with this car, and maybe it's a craftsmanship issue, or maybe it's a previous owner issue. But yeah, anyway, thanks for checking out my first video in a really long time. I'm kind of excited. I've never owned a newer, higher tiered sports car before, and I'm genuinely impressed with the Corvette, and I'll make some more videos and we'll go from there. All right everyone, have a good one. Thank you. Good luck.